Hi there, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona, and today's class is an all-round Vinyasa flow class designed to build balance, strength and flexibility in your body and also endurance. So the standing Vinyasas that we flow through in this particular class will move in slow motion to start with, and so we build alignment and integrity in the postures, and then we flow one movement, one breath to build our endurance. So it's a little bit more of a challenging class, but certainly very accessible if you've done some yoga before. So thanks for joining. I hope you enjoy. Namaste. Beginning your practice today in child's pose, making your way to the back of your mat, taking your knees a little wider than your hips, and bringing your big toe mounds to touch. Walking your hands forward and resting your torso in between your thighs. And creep your little fingers to the edges of your mat so you've got lots of space and room around your shoulders, around the back of your neck. And rest your head down toward the mat. And take 3 deep breaths, letting your breath wrap around the back of your lungs, around the back of your skull, and just softening your belly as you breathe out. Feeling your ribs expand against your thighs as you breathe in. And allowing yourself to soften and settle into this rest pose. Eyes can be closed. And just take one more cycle of breath in and out. Breathing as smooth and even as you can. Next breath in, coming up onto all fours. Set your hands now underneath your shoulders. Separate the knees and balance them underneath your hips. And we'll just start with barrel rolling the spine. So just sending your rib cage out to the left and then round the spine, ribs out to the right, and then soften the belly as you come back through the circle. And do that a couple more times. Elbows can bend, your head can relax. Just some gentle movement through the spine, waking up through the sides of your body, rolling it back the other way. Any movement that feels good here. Waking up the hips, the wrists, and the spine. Making your way back to center. Keep your hips balanced over your knees and go ahead, walk your hands forward and come into Anahatanasana, heart opening pose. So placing your hands quite wide here, dropping your head between your arms, forehead toward the mat, and feeling for length either side of the waist, all the way to your armpits, and pointing your sit bones up toward the ceiling so your belly softens a little. You find a little arch in the low back spine, and then anchor down through the tops of your shins, tops of the feet, and all your toes. And taking one more full breath in and out. As you feel yourself breathe in, send the gaze forward and melt down onto the belly, making your way into Sphinx pose. Mild back bend, bringing your forearms a little forward of your shoulders, hands are shoulder width apart, and keeping your feet separated as well. Just drop your head between, or your head down toward your chest, and taking all the back bend out of the equation. And then really slowly pressing down through the pelvis, drawing your chest forward through your arms. So you get that feeling that you're dragging your elbows back without actually moving them. Shoulder blades are slipping down your spine, collarbones are open, chest feels uplifted, back of the neck unwrinkled. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, peel down to the floor, take your hands around your ribs and slowly push back up onto the knees and take your buttocks back to your heels into child's pose. Arms extending, elbows straight, forearms up off the mat. And rest here in child's pose anytime you need to take a break. Throughout the class, anytime you need to do less. Making your way into your first downward dog for the class, coming up onto all fours. Tuck the toes and raise your seat toward the ceiling, drawing your chest back toward your thighs. Keep a soft bend in your knees. And then gently, gently bike out your heels. And just taking in all the feedback from your body as you start to move, start to breathe. Noticing any areas of congestion in your body. And also taking note of the places where you feel open, you feel spacious. Beginning to deepen your breath and find a rhythm to your breath, even in tempo. One more smooth breath in and out here. And take the gaze forward between your hands, coming up onto the balls of your toes, bend the knees, and walk yourself forward to the top edge of your mat. Set your feet up, hip distance apart. And easy forward fold, soft bend in the knees, torso sitting on your thighs, catch opposite elbows, or you can interlace your fingers around the back of your skull. Just allow yourself to fold forward. And start to press actively down through all four corners of your feet and lifting up energetically through the arches and inner seams of your legs all the way up to the pelvis. So a safe forward fold here is where your torso's on your thighs. So if you're a little less flexible, do keep a bend in your knees and just feel for a comfortable stretch through the back of the legs. Gravity's doing the work here to gently traction your spine with the weight of your head. Releasing your hands to the floor, bending the knees a little deeper, hang in ragdoll, let your arms go floppy, and then really slowly rise to stand, coming up vertebra by vertebra, bringing yourself upright, sweeping the arms overhead, send the gaze up to the tip of the thumbs, and then exhaling your hands to your heart, finding Tadasana. Toe heeling your feet together, big toe mounds touch, your heels are lightly separated. Legs are strong, trying not to lock the legs, tailbone lengthening down toward your heels, crown of the head reaching up energetically toward the ceiling. And we'll start to flow. Each round or each sequence will do a slower round and then we'll pick up the pace, one movement, one breath. So no rush. From here, link your thumbs, space your fingers, take a big arch up and back. And as you exhale, fold forward, take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers and fold, little bend in the knees, drop your head. Releasing the hands as you inhale, slide the hands to the shins, flat back, straight legs, extending your spine. And as you exhale, fingertips to the floor, step your right leg back, take your right knee to the floor. Keep your back toes tucked as you breathe in, reach your arms alongside your ears, open through the heart. And as you exhale, sweep your arms back and raise your right knee up off the floor, torso forward. Extending long to the edges of your fingers, crown of the head. And then slowly drop the right knee back down on the floor, reach the arms up, feeling for a firmness in your belly as you reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor and step lightly forward. Bring your toes together again, top edge of the mat. Staying low, inhale, come up halfway. Exhale and fold over the legs, Uttanasana. As you rise up, link your thumbs, space your fingers, take a little arch back through the spine, standing tall. Second side, bend the knees and fold, catch your hands behind your back, drop your head. Releasing the hands, inhale coming up halfway, hands to the shins, extending your heart forward. And as you exhale, fingertips to the floor, go ahead, step your left foot back and lower your left knee to the floor, low lunge. Once you're steady, reach your arms up, extending long through the sides of your waist. And as you exhale, sweep the arms back, your torso forward, and raise your back knee up off the floor, staying on the balls of the toes, reaching the crown of your head forward so you have a diagonal line, back of the skull all the way down to the heel of your back foot. Slow transition, your left knee to the floor, reach the arms up, low lunge. And as you exhale, take the hands to the floor, plant your hands down now and step quietly back to downward facing dog. Hips up and back, thighs firm, heels heavy. And as you feel yourself breathe in, float forward to a high push-up. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Hug in and up through the belly. Thighs engaged, so you're spreading the effort through your body. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, lower your knees, your chest and chin melt down to the floor. Your hands around your ribs, your elbows tucking in. Inhale, low baby cobra. Mild arch through your spine. Strong legs, peel down, and either rolling on your knees or push back up to push up and back to downward facing dog. And take 5 deep breaths. And if you haven't already, just starting to cultivate an ujjayi breath, breathing with sound, gently contracting the muscles at the back of your throat and siphoning the air in and out so you make this low audible sound, an ocean sound. And start to tune your awareness into the sound of your breath so it sounds silky smooth and there's a quality to your breath, even and smooth. We'll do one more round just like that. One movement, one breath. Take a deep breath in, looking forward between the hands. And at the end of your exhale, step lightly forward to the top edge of your mat. Bring your toes together. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And exhale, fold over the legs. As you rise to stand, little bend in the knees, catch your thumbs, space your fingers, come all the way up, arch back. And take your shoulder stretch now, hands behind the back, interlace the fingers and fold. Arms just floating away from your back in your comfortable range of motion. Inhale as you release, hands to the shins, flat back, straight legs. And as you exhale, step your right foot back, low lunge. Back toes stay tucked, right knee to the floor, arms overhead as you breathe in. Hands float back, torso forward, breathe out, back knee up off the floor. Inhale, drop the back knee, reach the arms, take a mild arch through the spine, perhaps gaze up. And as you exhale, fingertips to the floor, step forward, top edge of the mat. Inhale, coming up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold, let go, drop your head, fold. Link your thumbs, space your fingers, come all the way slowly up, arch back. Exhale, shoulder stretch, hands behind the back, interlace the fingers and fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, releasing the hands, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back, take a long stride, left knee to the floor. As you breathe in, arms alongside your ears, stretch up, let your hips sink forward. And as you exhale, arms back, torso forward, hover right above your front thigh. Lower the back knee, inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, hands to the floor, stepping quietly back to downward facing dog. As you breathe in, ripple forward through your spine, high push-up. Exhale, low push-up, modify if you like here, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few moments to settle in. Feet are hip distance apart, checking your hands are shoulder width apart. And then spread out through your fingers. Close up the air pockets underneath your hands. Strong straight arms without locking your elbows, and that feeling of length running all the way down from your armpits to your waist, and then from your buttocks all the way down to your heels. Straightening the legs within your range of motion. It's okay to keep a little bend in your knees there. Feeling of length, elongating the back of your body. Next round, a slow round. Toes come together at the back of your mat. Slowly raise your right leg up and back, down dog splits. Aim to keep your hips level here. And as you feel yourself breathe out, step lightly forward, right foot in between your hands, making your way into a high lunge. You can take your time here, right foot over in the right lane, left foot in the left lane. Slowly coming up. Hands can be at your hips or extend your arms alongside your ears once you're steady. Front of the pelvis is lifting up, your abdominals are engaged to support your low back spine. And a modification here, just to help with any tenderness in the low back, is a little bend in your back knee. And just a couple more breaths. Just feeling for a steady, solid foundation, lightness and length in your upper body. So with your arms overhead now, take your right hand to your left wrist. We'll take a side stretch. Might be just a very subtle side stretch, hinging over to your right, or you might be able to come over a little bit more. Just maintain your steadiness, maintain your breath, even and smooth. And then coming all the way back up to center, press your palms now, lower your hands to your heart center. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just as you did before, hinge your torso forward and take a twist. Hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And try and draw a straight line from your elbow to your elbow. So your right elbow is pointing up toward the ceiling. And for balance, if you're feeling wobbly, gaze can be down. Back knee could sit lightly on the floor if that feels more steady for you. Or if you have your balance, start to spin the gaze up over your right shoulder. Conscious of the line of your spine, so the back of your skull's in line with your tailbone. Your left thigh's lifting up in space. Take a deep breath in. Keep the shape and just send the gaze down. You're going to step lightly forward, keeping your twist with your left foot to the right foot, top edge of the mat, and coming into chair twist. And here, drop your weight down into your heels. Drop your buttocks down, your seat down. Keep the knees in line. Start to revolve through the rib cage, through the chest, through the back of your neck. Little heat in the legs here. We're just going to slowly turn forward. Keep your hands at your heart center, preparing for balance. You're going to balance on your right foot. And start to send the left foot back and coming into swan pose. So extending out through the left leg. Try and keep your left leg as high as your hip there. And extend your heart forward. Draw the shoulder heads up so your shoulder blades squeeze in behind you. Just here for one more breath. Gaze can move forward. And as you exhale, fingertips lightly down. Step yourself back, downward facing dog. Slow and steady, no rush. Either pause here for a rest or make your way through a Vinyasa high push-up as you breathe in, low push-up as you breathe out. Upward dog or cobra, a back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths. Emphasizing your out breath just as a way of clearing out, resetting. And settling your gaze. The expression in your face, soft and relaxed. And taking your toes together at the back of your mat, raise your left leg up and back nice and slow, breathing in. And as you exhale, step the left foot forward in between your hands. High lunge. Take your time to arrive, feel steady in your body. Arms rise alongside your ears, bringing your torso upright and feeling for comfort in your low back spine, perhaps a little bend in the right knee. With the feeling that you're scissoring your back toes toward your front heel so the legs stay active and engaged. And then see if you can lift your ribs a little higher up outside the hips so you find length just around the sides of the waist. And then reach to the edge of your ring fingers, all your fingers spread and extended toward the ceiling. With your arms overhead, take your left hand to your right wrist and take a side bend to your left. Deep hip flexor stretch, so try not to overdo it. If it feels steadier for you, bend your back knee just a little toward the floor. Checking in with your breath, it's smooth, sustainable. Deep breath in, come on back up to center. Press your palms and lower your hands to your heart center. So stay firm in your belly, straighten your back leg, tip lightly forward. And take your twist, hooking your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. And then just nestling in, getting your armpit down by the side of your left knee. And turning your left elbow up toward the ceiling, twisting here. You can keep your gaze down if it bothers your neck or you're a little wobbly here. We'll start to slowly spin the gaze up over your left shoulder. Keep your right thigh lifting up, your hips as level as you can feel them. And then keep the shape in your body, just turn your gaze down so you're balanced. Stepping your right foot up to meet your left at the top edge of the mat and coming into chair twist, Utkatasana. Drop your seat, firm the belly so you don't feel a big arch through your low back. You're supporting your low back here, working your glutes, your quads, and gently twisting through the spine, refreshing the spine, preparing for balance. Again, your eye gaze down, hands to the heart, and slowly balancing on your left foot now, send the right leg all the way back. Let it hover. Balancing in swan, chest moves forward. And then hands down to the floor, stepping quietly back to downward facing dog. Take a breather if you need one here, or take a flow if you're enjoying the movement. Forward to a high push-up, low push-up, upward dog or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Pause and breathe. So the next round we do one movement, one breath. Try and keep a steady, even flow to your breath. And move as deliberately as you can. Toes together here at the back of the mat. Raise your right leg up and back as you breathe in. Step your right foot forward, high lunge as you breathe out. Inhale, arms overhead, breathe in. As you exhale, stay here, let your hips sink down. Take your right hand to your left wrist. Take a side bend as you breathe out to your right. Inhale back to center, press your palms. Exhale your hands to your heart. Take an extra breath here, facing forward. And as you breathe out, tip forward and reverse prayer twist, left elbow outside the right thigh. Send the gaze down, Balance on your right foot, step the left foot up, top edge of the mat, chair twist, drop your seat, find your twist, and then gaze down, hands to the heart. Balancing on your right foot, slowly send the left leg out behind you, any amount, balancing in swan pose, Dagasana, and then hands down, land lightly, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to high push-up. Exhale lower, low push-up. Upward dog or cobra, savor your breath in, fill up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Second side coming up and then a rest. Left leg rising as you breathe in. Left foot forward as you breathe out, high lunge. Inhale, arms overhead, breathe in. Stay here as you breathe out. Left hand to your right wrist, side bend to your left, breathing out. Breathing in, back to center. Press your palms, hands to the heart as you breathe out. Take another breath in here. And twist to your left, right elbow hooking outside of the left thigh. Eyes down, step forward, top edge of the mat, toes come together, chair twist, drop your seat, and then hands to the heart, steady on your left foot, start to raise and extend your right leg back behind you. Keep a bend in your left knee, send your heart forward, and then land lightly, hands down, foot down, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to a high push-up. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, wide across the collarbones. Firm belly, exhale, downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths in downward dog, and then we'll do 5 deep breaths in child's pose. Encourage your out breath to lengthen slightly for a few rounds of breath, and if you've got a sigh, just let it out of your mouth. Making your way towards stillness, let your gaze settle, your expression soften in your face. Then gently taking the effort out of the posture, knees to the floor, buttocks to the heels, child's pose. Arms can wrap around your legs, or you can keep your arms extending forward. Try and let go of your effort across your shoulders, the back of your neck. And once more, let your breath wrap around the back of your lungs. Conserving energy, quietening the mind. No rush here, making your way onto all fours and into downward facing dog. And just notice how you feel in your body now. Just check in, middle of the class. Hopefully feeling a little bit more open across your chest, shoulders, and the backs of your legs. Your breath more spacious. Next round is slow. Take the toes together. Raise your right leg up and back, down dog splits. And as you breathe out, step your right foot forward for warrior two. Take a few moments to land the feet, making sure your right toes are pointing forward. Left toes are out on a 45-degree angle. And just coming up when you're ready, arms out to a T. Positioning your armpits over your hips. And just check, are your wrist creases over your ankles? Both arms engaged. Torso upright. So you should feel really strong in the legs here, open and expanded in your upper body. Keep your legs just where they are, left hand to your left thigh, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior, keep your chest open, your heart shining up toward the ceiling. Lunge your front knee forward. Sharpen your back leg, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, windmill both hands to the floor. Set your left hand down, take your right hand to the sky, popping up onto the back toes. Simple twist. If it feels good, lean your torso back. Keep the back thigh engaged. One more deep breath in. Exhale, take both hands to the floor, stepping back to plank. And pause. A deep breath in here. And then as you breathe out, roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, balance on your left hand, and find side plank. So a modification here would be to keep 2 feet on the floor, one in front of the other, or stack your right foot on top of the left foot. So if you're still working on your core strength, both feet on the floor just give you a little bit more balance. Do engage your oblique muscles through the left side of your waist, lifting your hip up. Reach up to the edge of your right fingers. Send your right arm overhead, a lateral stretch, holding your balance. And then both hands to the floor, downward facing dog from here, hips up and back. Head hanging heavy. Inhale forward, high push-up. Exhale, low push-up, keeping that steady pace to your breath. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Resting breaths, 3 deep breaths. Feel your ribs expand with your breath. And feel your breath moving into the front and back of your lungs. Left side, slow side, left leg up and back as you breathe in. Left foot forward as you breathe out. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Good strength and endurance pose. Coming on up when you're ready. Expand across your chest through the reach of your arms. Sink nice and deep in the hips, staying comfortable in the low back, supported by your abdominal muscles. Inner thighs stretching toward your knees. And keep the legs where they are. Reverse. Right hand runs down your right leg, left arm up and back. Keeping the chest open. Lunge a little deeper in the front leg. And then we mill the hands to the floor as you breathe out. Right hand stays down, left hand to the sky. Breathing in, simple twist. Feeling for a spaciousness across your chest. Length through your body. Left hand down to the floor and stepping quietly back to plank pose. Second side plank pose, balancing on your right hand. Rolling onto the outer edge of your right foot and either stacking your feet, left foot on top, or one foot in front of the other for a little bit more balance. So stay strong in the legs, engage through the right side waist, and push the floor away with everything you've got in contact with the mat to allow you to feel a little lighter. Left arm overhead, reach out. And then both hands to the floor. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nearly there. Inhale forward to a high push-up. Exhale, low push-up. Upward dog or cobra as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Our next round, one movement, one breath, and then a rest. Toes together at the back of your mat. Right leg rising as you breathe in. Right foot forward to warrior 2 as you breathe out. Sensing your in-breath coming all the way up, arms out wide. Stay here as you breathe out, lunge deep. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, windmill the hands to the floor. Left hand stays down, right hand to the sky. Breathe in, simple twist. Right hand to the floor, stepping back, plank pose. Balance on your left hand, outer edge of the left foot, side plank, your variation, right hand to the sky. And as you breathe out, right arm overhead, crescent shape your body. Eyes down, hands down, downward facing dog, hips up and back, heels heavy. Inhale forward to a high push-up. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last side, toes together, back of the mat. Left leg rising as you breathe in. Left foot forward, warrior two as you breathe out. Keeping the integrity in the shapes that you're making, warrior two, arms out wide. Stay here as you exhale, lunge nice and deep. Keep the legs where they are. Inhale, reverse, just floating with your breath. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Right hand stays down. Left hand to the sky, breathe in, simple twist. Exhale, left hand to the floor, stepping back, plank pose. Last side, balancing on your right hand, roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, stack the feet, left hand to the sky as you breathe in. Left arm overhead as you breathe out. Eyes down, hands down, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward high push-up. Exhale, low push-up. Upward dog or cobra. Moving with grace. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. And then 5 breaths in child's pose. Resting the body. Settling your gaze. And calming the rhythm of your breath. You're also toning your nervous system here as you alternate between more active poses that put a little stress on the body. You're returning and resetting when you return to more passive poses like Balasana, reminding the body, allowing the body to get familiar with returning to a restful state. And just one more deep breath in and out. And then just slowly coming up onto all fours, taking your legs out in front of you and rolling all the way down onto your back, hugging your knees in toward your chest. And really allow yourself to land here. Take a little rock side to side. Feeling any residual warmth that you have in your body from your movement. A little bit more suppleness in your joints. And from here, just take your feet to the floor and widen your feet away from one another to the edges of your mat, taking windshield wipers. You're going to take the knees and just drop them over to the left-hand side. And extending the right knee toward the floor. So you feel a stretch across the top of your right thigh into the quad muscles. And then up and over to the other side, slowly, unhurried. Extending your left knee down toward the floor. Relaxing in your upper body, your arms and your palms. And coming all the way back up to center. And walk your feet toward one another and wrap your right leg over the top of the left leg. So as if you're going to come into a twist, we've just got the legs crossed, and then raise your feet up and draw the knees in toward you and your feet away from one another, flexing your toes. So if you are a little bit more open in the outer hips here, you can lift your head up and run your hands all the way down to the outer edges of your feet. And if not, hang on to the knees, let your head rest back, and energetically move your feet away from one another. And you should feel a stretch down the outer hip. Just unraveling from this position, feet to the floor, and recross the legs opposite side, left leg on top. Lift your head and draw the knees in toward you, perhaps running the hands down to the outer edges of your feet. And encouraging the feet away from one another with your toes flexed. Resting your head back if you can. Relaxing through your upper body. And unraveling the legs here, tuck both knees in toward your chest. A little rock side to side. And then making your way into a twist, both feet to the floor. So you can either have your knees stacked here or cross your right leg over the top of the left leg. Lift your hips and your buttocks. And take the knees over to your left side. Arms extend out wide to a T, relaxing through your shoulder blades, your upper back. Start to spin the gaze out over your right shoulder, out to the edge of your fingers. You can close your eyes here if you like. Just winding down, taking stock, breathing smooth. And with a firm belly, come all the way up, so you're just protecting your low back spine. Back to center, recross the legs. Left leg over the top. Pushing down through your foot so you can lift your hips and shift the hips over to your left hand side. The knees drop over to the right. Extend your arms out. If the twist is too strong for you, just stack your knees. Find a comfortable twist where your legs can go heavy. Your upper body can soften. You can relax into your twist. And taking one more deep breath in. Exhale, firm the belly and come all the way back up. Hug the knees in, unwrap the legs. Squeeze in. I'm just going to slip the hands behind the back of the knees. Take a little rock and roll, come all the way up to sit, and taking your legs out straight in front of you, flexing your toes. So if you are tighter through the back of the legs, even though you might be a little bit warmer here, just take your feet about hip width apart. Toes are flexed, arms reach up alongside your ears, breathing in, finding length through your spine. And as you exhale, forward fold. Dragging your navel back toward your spine, so hollowing out through the belly. And then just checking with the top of your chest. Notice if you can get a little wider and broader across your chest as you forward fold. Draw your chin in toward your chest. Let your arms rest either by your legs or on your toes. And when you feel ready, release. And either making your way into a seated meditation or resting back in Shavasana. And as you rest back, if you are lying down, take your feet quite wide apart, let your toes fall out, your heels heavy. And position your arms away from your body, your palms face up. And feel comfortable through the back of your neck, your skull. align your spine in a straight line. And rest here. Let go of all your effort. Focusing your gaze toward your third eye, between the eyebrows, in toward the center of your head. Letting your awareness fall on your natural, spontaneous breath. And take any amount of time here to rest, enjoy, and let go. Thanks for joining, yogis. I hope you enjoyed this class. See you on the mat next time. Namaste.